Yeah, and we're gonna start off with the second play of the game when
Yeah.
and the Bills are in the no huddle and they're in that spread look and then Josh Allen is running that pass run option. So it's a pass run option. So Josh is looking out here to the running back. And as these guys all expand and kind of come downhill from the safety position, then you're gonna see him get upfield with Morse kind of wrapping around. And again, an 8-yard gain on first down, second play of the game, get the crowd into it, show the defense that Josh Allen is a threat.
I feel like this play was just the perfect way to get every fan involved because they went no huddle and then ran Josh Allen and everybody was
Got you
like, "Oh,
hooked.
yeah, exactly." Like everybody just erupted like this is what we want. Like you could tell even just like the most common fan in the stadium, you felt the energy. They all recognized what was happening. And yeah, this is a good example like right out of the gate putting the Bucks defense in a bind. And what's so nice with, RPOs or PROs, you can make the defense wrong no matter
No
what
matter
they
what.
do. It's
Mhm.
all based on that read. If they do A, you do B. If they do B, you do A. And we're going to see that consistently throughout this game where just one person that's out of position or one person does something and Allen takes advantage of it. And then beautiful, Eric, like
Numbers.
highlighting boom. We keep saying it on the show week after week. Sometimes football is just math and it's just
Mhm.
numbers. And you look at the box count, you've got 4 down there, and then you've got Mr. Devin White in the box there. Levante David, number 54 to the right, is kind of already being pulled out of the box as Latavius Murray goes out there.
Yep.
That's an advantageous look to run the ball like Josh Allen decides to here because you've got 5 for the Bills offensive line versus 5 in the box after the motion from Murray. You got a hat on a hat. You got a body on a body. You take that every single day of the week, and that's a legit runway for Josh Allen. Get Mitch Morse out into space, which is
Mhm.
where he excels. Beautiful way to start the game and really start to build on some positivity. And yeah, it's just simple math, like a hat on a
Yeah.
hat, 5-on-5. Anytime you have even numbers in the box, you want to run that ball and you want to make defenses pay for giving you that kind of look.
The first quarter, 10:52, first and 10 situation here, once again. And this is a no huddle play. And this is what I loved about their plan of attack because someone just brought it up in the comments. They're at their best when they kind of get everybody involved. The
Mm,
Bills are at their best, Charles says. The Bills are at their best when it's Diggs and a mix of guys, Kincaid, Gabe, Cook, should be ancillary weapons in the passing game. They got those guys involved early. Like you talk
mhm.
about all the targets that Gabe Davis saw in this game. And 7 out of 9 of his receptions were on first down, and this is one of them. And I love this no huddle call. That is, it's a free access RPO. So the Bills have that center, center fold where Mitch is pulling. You get like a down block by Torrance, and then Mitch is pulling there, and they have that run called. They also have the old school like Beasley slant right here to Kincaid called. But Josh says, you know what? You get that single high safety look, man coverage. I see
Mhm.
all of this space, and that's that free access portion of this. Josh says, I like that matchup. I'm going to go to Gabe early, and he throws a dime on this free access RPO to Gabe Davis. Again, first down passes and usage of Gabe Davis in this game were unlike any other game plan we've seen from Ken Dorsey or Brian Dable.
Yeah, it was nice to see him get worked into several different alignments and coupled with those alignments we saw different usages. This throw is absolutely beautiful. He, whether it's the proverbial like dropped it in the bucket or like kind of walked it up and just placed it into his hands, the throw is great. I also like the decision, there's 6 in the box against your 5 offensive linemen, so I like the idea of knowing, okay, it's single high, I got man on the outside, like let me go to my guy, and also some good late hands from
Mhm.
Gabe Davis. He doesn't telegraph it like you see him bang. He just reaches up and you can tell Dean is trying to play. His back is turned to Josh Allen. So he's trying to play the eyes and the hands of Gabe Davis. And Davis shows those late hands enough that Dean is left. Look at the timing. Like Gabe catches
Yeah.
it and brings it in, and then Dean puts his hands up trying to make a play because that's what he's reacting to. You can either have your eyes on the ball when you make the play, or you try to wait for that receiver to give you a clue and then punch through the hands. Gabe doesn't help Dean make that play. Josh
Right.
gives him a beautiful ball, and that looks way easier than it is, both the throw and the catch.
Right. And so I want you guys, again, we talked about the formations and some of the concepts they're running and passing out of those same concepts and formations and how that kind of disguised things and really kept the defense, on the not on the up and up. And they had to almost guess. So you get like a quarters look here. You get 4 deep here. And so the Bills on 2nd and 1 are running it. They're running that weak side full, but I want you to pay attention to the formation. Kincaid and Davis tight the formation, and they once again pull Morse. And I like what they're doing in their gap game, whether it's tackle pulls or center pulls in this game, where their guards aren't the best pullers. They're not really the best guys to be pulling. So the Bills are really majoring in tackle pulls and center pulls, and you see that weak side full here between McGovern and Morse. And once again, that formation on this weak side run here gets Murray 5 yards and moves the chains.
Yeah, and Morse climbs to the second level against Devin White. He doesn't latch and stay consistent, but he gets enough of a piece of him that it creates a leverage opportunity for Murray. So boom, Morse gets him there and gets White off kilter, and then Murray's able to get his shoulder into Devin White and drive him for another 2 to 3 yards. Nice physical run. And your point on who they pull, that's my big takeaway for what this play represents. Like, McGovern is a much better puller than Torrance is because of his athleticism and overall size and frame and weight. But the best pullers on this team are Mitch Morse and Spencer Brown and Deion Dawkins, both whether it's purely due to athleticism and mobility or, strength and physicality mixed with both of them. So it's been a nice piece to see the Bills lean into this. And this is, I know it's, people aren't going to like it because everybody thinks the run game is stupid and sucks and the pass game is the only thing that matters. The Bills, from a creativity standpoint and a conceptual standpoint, have been a strong running team all year. What they lean into, what they choose to lean into, and when they do it. And again, Eric, like you highlighted there, we have an advantageous look with 6 in the box, 4 down, 2 from an off-ball standpoint. And then if you look what the Bills have from a line perspective, they've got 5 offensive linemen, and then they've got Kincaid, and they have got Gabe Davis. So you've got 7 versus 6. That's, even if it was 6 versus 6, that's still positive, and there's one more gap than the defense has accounted for. But now you have an extra body on top of it. That's an easy, advantage perspective from a math perspective with running the ball. Good decision, get upfield, mash, first down.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, again, play the numbers game, and there's been a lot of talk about, they're not passing deep on second one. You're not passing against that look. All right. So moving on to 3:33 left in the first quarter, another first down situation, but this is a 1st and 20 situation. This is a 9-yard gain on a beautiful RPO play to get the Bills back on track, right at the sticks, essentially get 9 yards on this play. But again, this is kind of that, triple option type look or an RPO look where to the top of the screen, they have a screen, which you're rarely going to call that. You're rarely going to throw that, but you do have to see, hey, how many guys are out there? And that can sometimes give you numbers, whether in the box or on the weak side of the formation. But you obviously have the run with Cook if you want to hand that off on this mid-zone type run. And then you have just the RPO portion, right, Anthony? You have the conflict defender right here and Devin White. You have a slant. I'd say it's like a soft seam route where Gabe Davis is kind of sneaking inside the flats defender. Shakir's going to the flats. I love the timing and rhythm of this play. Watch Davis, slow play. Oh, that guy's buzzing to the flats with Shakir. Well, guess what? Now I have a soft spot right here, right behind where Devin White was, and he's able to get in behind him for 9 yards. I absolutely love these RPO looks. And as I said, remember this personnel. This is 10 personnel and their alignment. The Bills went to the, this type of look with 11 personnel. Remember we said Kincaid and Davis? Well, now this is 10 personnel, same type of look, tied to the formation, this time with Shakir and Davis.
And even if they wanted to run a different play and actually run a straight up run, they can execute it because Shakir has been a good blocker this year, and as is Gabe Davis. I love how you labeled and called this RPO, because at first I thought it was almost kind of functioning like a snag concept, even though Davis doesn't sit, because Neal comes down on that flat route from Shakir and Davis just plays it. He slow plays it beautifully. Like you said, he waits for Neal to clear, immediately turns, makes himself available. And then Devin White is honoring that run action. So he gets pulled up, has vacated his spot. Gabe Davis kind of replaces where he was in that wide open passing lane. And this angle shows it to you beautifully. Devin White attacks. Allen reads it, sees that he comes, boom, fires it right into the hands of Gabe Davis, who's getting upfield. And now, for those playing at home, if Devin White sits there and he decides, no, I'm not coming up, I'm going to sit and play the pass, Josh Allen will hold the ball, ideally, and give it to James Cook and play that numbers piece and hand it off to him on that mid-zone type run. But this is what we were talking about earlier, Eric, where RPOs can make the defense wrong no matter what. If Devin White sits, you've got the numbers advantage and Cook runs. If he rushes and honors the run action like he does here, you replace him with the receiver, hit it, and it's a quick gain upfield. And the Bills were able to do this consistently throughout this game.
Yeah, I love this stuff.
Same.
Again, you know,
And
we
it's so
had
quick. It's so
it's
quick,
so
right? The
fast.
rhythm of it, the timing,
Yeah.
like you blink and you've missed it for the defense.
Second quarter, 5-0-3, 2nd and 8 situation. This is a simple 5-yard gain, but another one of those RPO type looks. And I don't know if he's actually reading a defender here. I don't think he is personally. That's why I said it's RPO ish, but it's that tackle wrap. It's Dawkins pulling around. But again, 11 personnel. You have Davis and Kincaid tight to the situation, 2 receivers to the top, 2x2 set. And now you're running James Cook on that tackle wrap from the same side of the formation. So he's to the right of Josh Allen, and Dawkins is coming from the backside. It's a tough read for a secondary or a second level defender here because typically those guys are reading, guards as pullers and even centers to a certain extent. But man, this feed block by Torrance right here is phenomenal. He gets to the next level. I love that. And then Dawkins pulling around as a puller. He's been amazing this year, throwing his weight around. We did a whole segment. Was it last week or the week before when they ran this play where he's just throwing his weight around against the Giants? I think it was
Yeah,
a
I was at
Giants game.
Giants. Yeah, the week before.
Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, really nice feed block by Torrance. He had a good game from a running standpoint. And I just, again, that RPO look, but they handed off here for a 5-yard gain.
I love RPOs and I love tackle wrap. So, sign me up for more of this action. And yeah, you hit it on the head with Torrance. He had a couple really good feed blocks off a tackle wrap in this game. And this is one of them. And you see that initial horizontal action from James Cook, like you highlighted there, it gets Devin White to step inside and
Yeah.
honor that piece, which sets up leverage for Deion Dawkins coming around the corner. Devin White gets caught a little bit inside, gives Dawkins an advantageous look,
Yeah.
and allows
So
White.
pretty.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. And then it allows Cook to get around the corner. And then what's nice too is Neal, the safety, who's completely out of the picture right now, he is honoring the 2 receiver side over the top because the Bucs are doing 3-over-2 on the outside. So he's got to come and make this play from depth. But by the time he comes up and makes this play, Cook is already churned out 5 yards on 2nd and 8. And now you've got a nice 3rd-and-3, a nice manageable opportunity on 3rd down. And this is just, again, they run this concept a lot and it works for them. And we talked about it in the Giants game. We talked about it last year in the Saturday night game against Miami. They have the ability to kind of just pull this out of the holster whenever they need to. And it works because of the mobility of Deion Dawkins and Spencer Brown. And then the added wrinkle this year of Osiris Torrance on the inside is really helping to
Yeah.
with feed blocks.
Yeah. And so same drive, second quarter, 4:36 on the clock, 3rd down and 3 here. They're in the no huddle. Again, this is what I'm talking about. Like maybe the no huddle wasn't necessarily just for the passing game, that maybe it was a run game as well. 3rd down and 3 here. And again, RPO-ish, right? You got the screen to the bottom of the screen. You got the 2 routes to the top with Diggs and Kincaid, and then Cook just running mid zone here and getting up the field and converting and moving the chains. And that clock continues to run from this formation. Just good stuff from a 2x2 formation in that no huddle look, and just finding creases, even with, defenders stacked in the box here, and really great pickup between Morse and Torrance on this play. Watch Morse torque this guy. Look at him, just torque Devin White from right to left on the screen. And then Cook gets up inside with Torrance sealing the backside linebacker here. Just awesome work on 3rd down here. A good run call.
Yeah, and we talked earlier about, football being math sometimes and advantageous looks, and you see it from this perspective. And if everybody's following along at home, you'd see this look from the front and be like, oh, this doesn't look like a front you want to run against. Like there's a defender, looks like they're accounted for every single gap. Like, what are you going to do? But they run that mid zone piece and they basically say, kick rocks to Neal and Barrett on that right side. So it creates the opportunity for 5-on-5, and boom, as you pinpointed it,
Yeah.
Kincaid goes to that right. And then Barrett has to honor, I don't know, is Josh Allen going to keep this ball? So he's not immediately coming crashing down the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
And so
normally you have this guy in chase, right? That's why
exactly.
we want to add that, kind of that run game element and threat. That's Josh Allen. That holds Barrett out wide there, and he's not chasing down a line of scrimmage like you normally would see from an end.
No, and so between the pass action on that right side and what Josh Allen is doing, you basically take the opportunity of like 6-on-5 or even 7-on-5,
Yeah.
and you create basically a 5-on-5 look from a blocking standpoint, which again, hat on a hat, body on a body, that's advantage. Offense, good job from Torrance. And like you said, our hero, Mitch Morse, climbing to the second level, widens the hole, drives Devin White out. This play is nice. Again, from a 3rd down and 3, you get the first down, but all the little like wrinkles and nuances allows the Bills to end up having even numbers, even though they're outnumbered initially from a box perspective on this play. And then Cook just consistently been fluid all year. He finds the right hole and just gets north and south, doesn't worry about doing too much, and we get a nice positive gain.
Yeah, I mean, the play side hand right here
Oof.
by Torrance, and then the inside hand here from Morse is the hand usage.
Hands,
Hand
yes,
usage. It's
hands.
been a few weeks. We had to get it in there. Between those guys, that's a Cromer look. I mean, without that hand placement there, that play doesn't succeed. So
No.
great technical work between Torrance and Morse on this play. Kind of prying that hole open right there for 4 yards, and again moving the chains there on that look that didn't look, as you said, it didn't look advantageous from the start. Right out of halftime, third
Yes.
quarter, top of the third quarter, 18-yard gain here on just a simple slant route. But once again, the smoothness, the efficiency in his movement, and his ability to adjust to inaccurate passes
Yeah.
are all on display on this 18-yard gain. Once again, off of an RPO type look, this time with Diggs and Kincaid to the left side of the screen here. Again, building on that formation and concept that we saw early in the game. So the Bills have run tackle wrap a couple times at this point. This time, Dawkins is pulling and Cook is coming across the formation from the backside. You got the screen stuff up top. So you got 3 over 2 up there with that deep safety helping. And then you got that tight formation to the bottom of the screen. And obviously, Josh is reading. Levante David right here. He's a conflict defender. You see him slightly move, and you
Mm-hmm.
see this guy flash to the flats with Diggs. And I mean, this is easy money. But
Yeah.
it's not the best throw, right, Anthony? It's a inaccurate throw, but Kincaid's ability to adjust on this was just phenomenal.
Yeah, that's one of the huge takeaways. Like again, we just showed it or talked about it on the previous play, like how fluid he is. He makes this catch, like the touchdown was a really good throw by Allen on the run in stride. This one was not. Like, look at the position that Kincaid has to get into to catch it. It's awkward, it's uncomfortable. The ball's kind of at his knees and it's
Mhm.
also a little behind him. And he just reaches down and plucks it, crosses his legs because of how he has to kind of break his gait to make the catch, and then just gets right back upfield like it's nothing. Like he gets north and south right after it, to the
Mhm.
point that Carlton Davis kind of makes this tackle on like the back half of his body because he gets upfield so quickly. That's not like, and that's not us like blowing that out of proportion. Like it's easy for a guy to stumble making this kind of catch or kind of, mistime their feet or get caught on themselves, trip, fall down, or at the very least kind of slow up a little bit. Kincaid doesn't really have any of that happen. And again,
Mm-mm.
that was a nice design. We showed earlier, Devin White really honored the run action hard and came forward. David, like you said, Eric, just slightly, just a little
Yeah.
bit goes with James Cook, and it opens the window enough. And Kincaid replaces him, and just it's a good decision by Josh. Not a great throw, but Kincaid makes you forget about how bad of a throw it is because he's just so smooth.
Been down in 7 situation. There's a 14-yard gain into the short side of the field, tackle wrap, quick pass to Davis. He makes that defender miss in the short side of the field. He's able to get the field for 14 yards. It's no surprise that, getting him the ball quickly in the short area of the field was a big reason why the Bills were successful in this game. And we talked about 7 out of 9 of his receptions were on first down early, featuring him. That's what you do. So you have that screen to the bottom of the field, again, attacking horizontally, attacking vertically here. You have the RPO look with the conflict defender. You have that tackle wrap. You have Josh as a run threat on this play. This is more of that triple option type offense into the short side of the field when that arm strength is super important. That trigger is super important on this play because as soon as Josh gets through that mesh with Cook, he immediately pulls that trigger, drops his arm down, throws it out there to Davis, and it allows Davis to catch it, get his eyes upfield, and to make that guy miss.
Eric, real quick before I get into this one, I want to pull up the super chat that we got
Oh
from
yeah.
RC3. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for the monetary donation and a really awesome comment, Eric. He says, "Hey guys, I'm late. just wanted to say thank you for doing what you guys do. I'm really enjoying learning from you guys. It allows me to watch the game a different way each and every week. Keep up the great
Oh,
work.
that's
Eric,
awesome.
there we get a lot of tremendous comments and a lot of stuff that humbles us. Like this one is a really good
Yeah.
encapsulation of what our aim is and goal is. Like this warms the hell out of my heart.
Yeah, this always hits home for me because when I couldn't coach anymore because of my day job, I started Cover One to continue to teach, to continue to learn about the game and talk about the game. And of course, I love the Bills from a fan perspective, but that was like my Cover One was the extension of my coaching career. And so when you guys bring those kind of comments like RC3 did there, it's very humbling, but it's also like yes, it makes me so happy because the little knowledge that we do have, we try to, bring it here and bring good engagement and add value to you as a fan. So RC3, man, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's awesome. I knew you'd like that when I was waiting to
Yeah,
pull
it's
it up. That's
awesome.
awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. He also has a good comment too after saying the Bazooka Allen offense, which I like. I like that. This one was arguably my favorite, RPO piece just because of how it tied into that tackle wrap look, which the
Hmm.
Bills had several successful tackle wrap plays before this happened. And so
Right.
now you're playing off of that. And you've got the pass action tag to the back. And you highlighted, look at everybody flowing. Look at Devin White going
Hmm.
with it. Look at Levante David going with it. And then you have Shaq Barrett, number 7. He crashes down a little bit because he has to honor the run action. And all of those things lead to Gabe Davis being open in that spot. Allen hits him quickly. And then look at Mr. Moves in space, Gabe Davis making a defender miss, getting upfield. So that's another piece, Eric, like you mentioned, like
Hmm.
when they're going to him, how they're going to him, but then tying that in with a successful run concept that they've been drilling the Bucks with all game. This is a nice piece to kind of we're starting to play chess now with the defense, and we're going to
Yeah.
show them this look that we've been hitting them with. We know they're going to do A, and as soon as they do A, we're going to hit them with B. Like that. That's a piece that shows you're truly in control as an offense.
Third quarter, 2:32 left in the quarter. First and 10 situation. 8-yard gain to Gabe Davis again, bottom of the screen. Once again, tackle wrap and quick throw to Davis to the bottom of the screen. Once again, that formation stretching horizontally. You're having that vertical route by Shakir, that corner, and that quick diagonal flat route by Davis. That mesh, sort of mesh. I mean, you're basically reading that defender. There's just no way that Neal can get out there. He's got leverage. Davis has leverage on him. So there was really no reason to sell that. Quick throw to him. Again, 2.2, was it 2.27 seconds in this game?
Yeah.
Time to throw. Like, that's just ridiculous for Josh Allen.
That's ridiculous again, Eric, like for anyone, but let
Mhm.
alone like Josh Allen, like how
I think he's 2.9 right now, like normally for the
yeah.
season. So,
Yeah,
like, it puts in perspective.
he's usually in like a 2.6 to
Yeah.
2.93-ish type of range,
Yeah.
especially when you factor in like all the scrambles and like off script throws, which are going to jack up the time to throw.
Right.
But exactly like you said, like Davis has leverage based on where Neal is. And I just love again that they continue to tie in like these type of pass tags and this RPO look with their successful run concept. And you see, look how the Bucks again honor it. Like, look where Levante David goes. Look where Devin White goes. Like they are at this point in the game, where we are in the game, the Bills have gouged them with tackle wrap 3, 4, 5 times. So now at this point, there's like Levante David sees that flash of color from Deion Dawkins and he's going. He's reading it. But Morse cuts him off. Devin White comes flying down. But the run play doesn't matter anymore because Allen sees the leverage and what's going on outside. Tryon Sharenka crashed down a little
Mhm.
bit with that surf technique. He gives them that bit of window and that space to kind of fire it down into the flat. And this is again, nothing is easy in the NFL, but this is an easy 8 yards on 1st and 10. And now, Eric, what do you get after it? You get a 2nd and 2. The Bills continue to live
Mhm.
on schedule and create positive situations for themselves.
Right. And I loved, Allen's trust in his weapons in
Mm,
this game. You saw the free access RPO throw to Davis, early in the game. Here's the same type of situation where they have that free access to Diggs on the bottom of the screen with the fold by Morse. And Josh just likes his matchup on Davis, and he's got
mm.
all the screen to work with. Nice route and throw, a nice route by Diggs and throw from Josh Allen along the boundary to move the chains for that 10-yard gain.
Oh, real pretty. Kind of just that back shoulder piece, and I like that Diggs goes up and gets it. We see so much from him. We see the technicality, we see the route running, we see the precision. And he's had a couple plays this year that he's busted off, and you get to see some of the athleticism or some of the speed. I like that he was just able to showcase some of that athleticism on this one, like the way he goes up, the way he gets it. And again, it's all coming off of these looks and these run actions and putting the defense into a bind and realizing like, okay, like if they're showing this, I can do this. If they're showing that, I can do something else. Just giving Josh Allen answers and then the individual players executing. Look at he goes up and gets it. Look at him
It's
get the
crazy.
feet down,
Yeah.
like just
I don't know how he
the
did it.
body control, the timing, all like that's so pretty on the outside.
Yeah, that's again, that's easy. I mean, you're getting
Yeah.
back, to the top of your drop and you're just trusting that your star alpha wide receiver is going to come down with it. Like that's the type of trust that Josh needs to, exemplify more of in this offense. And we saw it. And we saw it early in the downs to some of the, auxiliary weapons. And so this is a first and 10 situation still in the third quarter. This is a 9-yard run. This that RPO look, that weak side fold that we've seen a bunch of times with Morris pulling, and a nice 9-yard gain for Cook. Once again, showing Davis, Kincaid, that same formation. And now you're pulling Morse like you've seen a couple times. So they ran duo out of this where these guys all crash down. And then
Hmm.
you see Cook and Murray run duo. They ran the mid zone run, which we've shown where everyone just zone blocking to the right or to the left. They've ran this weak side fold. I mean, they've ran all their concepts in the run game out of this formation. And again, that it's hard because as a defense, because you don't know what's coming at you. And they were having success in the run game. Like you see on this play, 9 yards, very nice work. Right up the middle, right up the gut. Look at Dawkins seal that edge. McGovern scoop to the next level. And then the nice press by Cook and then get
Mhm.
up into that crease for the 9 yards.
Yeah, McGovern, this you see the athleticism and you see the movement of him being able to get to the second level against, David and Devin White are both two athletic, flowing linebackers. So McGovern gets there, gets on him quick, helps, kind of escort him or shepherd him out there. You highlighted Dawkins. He gets across the face of Kalijah Cansey, and then it's a pure size advantage.
Yeah.
Cansey is quick and technical, but he does not have the size to bang inside with somebody like Deion Dawkins. Dawkins gets across his face and works there. And, Eric, like you highlighted it, just showing all these different variations and different looks off of the same formation or similar alignments. Like that's, we
Yeah.
talked last week on Twitter, in the film room. We've really done it since the Jags game and a couple other times as well. Like the Bills starting to get into kind of predictable plays, or whether it was situationally or formationally, when you can run so many things out of a similar personnel grouping or a similar look or similar
Yeah.
alignment, it becomes so hard as a defense because you can't be like, oh, here comes the mid zone. Oh, here comes the screen pass. Oh, here comes the tackle wrap. Like when you can get to so many things out of the same look or the same personnel grouping, it makes the defense have to read out every single thing. And then when they're reading it out and you're mixing in RPOs, it just puts them in hell because they're like, well, we have to read and process, but they're purposefully manipulating our reading and our processing. And that's what the Bills did consistently in
Yeah.
that game from start to finish, just putting the onus on the Buccaneers in being like, okay, if you want to stop us, you have to be precise with your communication, with your execution, with your recognition, and with your processing. And there were some times where the Bucs succeeded. We talked about it earlier, where you tip your cap to them, but more often than not, man, the Bills, whether it was the design or Allen or one of the weapons or all three, they just had the Bucks number, and it was, they needed to on a short week, and maybe that helped a little bit as well. But just, they just had such a strong game plan, and strong execution, I think, is
Right.
bigger than that game plan piece.